A neo-Nazi active club counts several current and former members of the United States military as its members, The Guardian has learned, including a Lance Corporal machine gunner currently in detention on insubordination charges and a former U.S. Marine Corps Staff Sergeant who was booted from the service for stealing large quantities of ammunition. Lance Corporal machine gunner Mohammed Wada and former Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Gunnar Naughton are part of the Clockwork Crew, California's first active club, according to the group's own internal research records and social media posts, as well as law enforcement sources. Active clubs, white nationalists and neo-fascist fight clubs that train in combat sports are a growing concern for U.S. law enforcement. Their recruitment among active and former members of the military underscores both the broadening appeal of the fitness-centric organizing model and the American Armed Services' persistent struggle with extremism within the ranks. The Clockwork Crew, formerly known as Crew 562, the area code for Long Beach, California, was founded in 2021 and counts roughly a dozen members, researchers say. The group has considerable overlap with other California active clubs, as well as with the Golden State Skinheads, a more traditional skinhead gang of whom some members stabbed several anti-fascist protesters at a chaotic 2016 clash outside the state capitol in Sacramento. Clockwork Crew's reach also briefly extended to Eastern Europe. Juraj Mesic, a Croatian neo-Nazi, headed an 8-person chapter in that country before being arrested in March for racist abuse of an immigrant worker, according to news reports and internal chats. Researchers say Clockwork Crew stands out because of its members' willingness to engage in public confrontations and the key roles played by active duty and veterans of the armed forces. "We're seeing a more aggressive, more hostile far right," said Jeff Tishoser, a senior researcher at the Southern Poverty Law Center SPLC. Groups like the Clockwork Crew are more willing to take their hatred into public spaces and shout people down outside of synagogues and in communities they perceive as predominantly Jewish. Last year, the SPLC listed the Clockwork Crew as a designated hate group over the participation of some members in a 2022 hate march by the Goyim Defense League, an anti-Semitic hate group, and another episode that spring when some Clockwork Crew members drove through San Diego and harangued passers-by from a van draped in white nationalist propaganda. "They're trying to recreate the cell-based, ready-made force that Ram had where 5 to 20 people can go out and intimidate people with propaganda, flyering, and highly aggressive posturing," said Tishoser, referring to the Rise Above movement. The now-defunct street-fighting neo-Nazi crew whose members have been targeted by federal authorities for participating in street violence against political opponents in California and Virginia during the presidency of Donald Trump. The Clockwork Crew was co-founded by Mohammed Wada, a Lance Corporal with the 3rd Battalion, 5th Regiment of the 1st United States Marine Corps Division out of Camp Pendleton, the Marine Corps base just north of San Diego and one of the largest in the country. Photographs from Wada's Telegram posts show he lives on base in Camp Pendleton in a room adorned with a poster of Adolf Hitler. Groups like the Clockwork Crew are more willing to take their hatred into public spaces and shout people down. Jeff Tishoser, a 25-year-old from Oregon who has been in the Marine Corps since at least 2018, Wada has claimed one of his ancestors fought alongside the Nazis in the Handschar Division, an SS unit made up of Bosnian and Croatian volunteers to suppress anti-fascist partisans in the former Yugoslavia. Wada has participated in the Clockwork Crew's banner drops and sticker campaigns, and has taken part in marches with members of other hate groups, including the Goyim Defense League. Wada is currently under court-martial for disobeying Marine Corps general orders prohibiting advocating extremist ideology and having extremist tattoos, the military branch confirmed. He entered a guilty plea on July 27. He was sentenced to 11 months in the brig, a reduction in rank to private, and will be given a bad conduct discharge, according to court records and a Marine Corps spokesperson. Wada co-founded Clockwork Crew with Nicholas Daniel Large. Wada and Large met through the Church of Arianite, a neo-Nazi cult, and at first intended to create a West Coast chapter of the group, per communications unearthed by the Southern California Research Club, an independent research cooperative monitoring far-right extremism in Southern California. Large works mostly as a propagandist, creating Clockwork Crew's insignia, including stock neo-Nazi iconography, and plastering cities in Orange and Los Angeles counties with hateful stickers. Large also has made death threats against California State Senator Scott Wiener. The duo have drawn recruits from the broader far-right community, in particular the West Coast chapters of the White Lives Matter Network, another hate group affiliated with the broader Active Club nationalist movement. But Clockwork Crew has also made targeted efforts to recruit from within the military and the veterans community. Among those recruits was Gunnar Naden, a Kansas native and erstwhile Civil War reenactor who served in the Marine Corps 1st Reconnaissance Battalion as a sergeant until military authorities caught him and 5 other Marines stealing more than 10,000 rounds of ammunition and several grenades from a weapons depot at Camp Pendleton in the winter of 2021. Naden pled guilty to charges related to the theft in July 2021 and was dismissed from the Marine Corps after being demoted to private. At his sentencing, Naden claimed he was bullied by other Marines in 1st Recon and pressured into taking part in the ammunition theft. Naden first appeared in Clockwork Crew's circles the following year, in July 2022. A month later, he used volunteer work in eastern Kentucky following lethal flooding there as an opportunity to spread white nationalist propaganda and proselytize for the group, according to posts to Clockwork Crew's Telegram channel. They're trying to recreate the cell-based, ready-made force that RAM had where 5 to 20 people can go out and intimidate people. Jeff Tishoser. Ezra Leal, a 22-year-old from the Central Valley town of Turlock, who enlisted in the Army National Guard in 2021, is another Clockwork Crew member, according to his own social media history. Photographs of his neo-Nazi tattoos posted to the group's public channel and information obtained by the Southern California Research Club. In Telegram group chats with members of other violent neo-fascist groups, including the Base, Leal has claimed he was once affiliated with the Atomwaffen Division, a defunct guerrilla group involved in 5 murders and at least 2 bomb plots. Leal has also posted photos of himself in a U.S. Army uniform toting a machine gun, as well as bare-chested snaps of his Black Sun and Valnut tattoos, both widely used amongst fascists. I am an NCO non-commissioned officer and officers and lower enlisted decided to launch an investigation into me and essentially try to cancel me, Leal wrote on January 25, 2023. Photographs obtained by the Southern California Research Club show Leal participated in a Goyim Defense League march in Los Angeles and public training sessions publicized by Clockwork Crew on their Telegram account. In other posts, Leal describes himself as an open supporter of Azov, the far-right Ukrainian social movement and volunteer regiment. Elsewhere, Leal mulls over volunteering for combat in Ukraine and discusses logistics about travel and enlisting in the Ukrainian military with other neo-N.